welcome back to another episode of Spurs This Week. I'm Toby from _Spurs Center, and today I'm joined once again by Charlie from N17 Nation. And today we'll be reviewing that 3-0 win over Leeds United, and then we'll preview our next fixture against Brentford in the EFL Cup. How you doing, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm certainly doing great after that win. What?
Yeah, it was a great win. Great result from the boys, and a real statement to put us back into that top three. 4 points behind United and Liverpool. But I have some confidence. It was a bad run, those 4 games, but I'm starting to feel like maybe once again I feel like we can just be the outside chance at winning the title. But let's just jump right into it. Who was your man of the match for that 3-0 win over Leeds?
Well, it has to be Kane, doesn't it? I'm gonna give it to Kane, but Højbjerg, Dyer, Son, come close.
All good shouts. I thought Ben Davies played pretty well today. Obviously not like a man of the match contender. It has to either go to Kane or Son. But I thought overall we played pretty well today, with the exception of like 1 or 2 chances that Leeds created. But I thought we were pretty solid and back with a clean sheet, which has been a while since we've got one of those. And it's got to just be a real confidence booster for all of our boys in defense who have been maybe struggling a bit these past few weeks after conceding so many late goals. What did you think of that, the second yellow on Doherty to give him a red towards the end of the game?
Well, if you saw Jose's look at Doherty after he got the red card, I think that could be. I don't know what to say because it seems like it's the end of Aurier because Jose's literally not even included him in the squad today just because of that one pen. And now Doherty has a red, so he must surely bring Aurier back. But honestly, treating Aurier like he's going too far. I understand that he likes to punish players, but that's a bit. Not even including him in the squad and putting Jedson in. Come on, that's just offensive. But yeah, I'm sure Aurier will be back for Villa, which is good because even if Doherty didn't get a red, he was still a weak link throughout the whole game. Made a few mistakes, but everyone was good really. Winks wasn't amazing, but he was still good. Yeah, and everyone
typical
was good.
Winks
really.
Performance. Yeah,
we weren't in Jose's interview after the game. He said like the Spurs interviewer said like a very good performance today, and Jose immediately said, "Well, I wouldn't say very good. I just say it's a good performance." And I agree with him because it's not like we played outstandingly. It's just I feel like everyone played their roles perfectly, and everyone was so organized. And Leeds were pretty poor as well in the first half. Like they couldn't get out of their box for 20 minutes. They kept passing the ball badly, but that I think that they were so bad creating attacks because of our organized marking, and we were also pressuring them quite high up the pitch.
Yeah, it was nice to see us pressing again because it's been a while since we've been really pressing. I'm wondering if it's just because we didn't have the game midweek. Jose, however you want to say it. And after he said that in the All or Nothing documentary about how people always mispronounce it, I'm always afraid I'm going to say it wrong, and then he's going to find me. But he seemed like the players had like maybe more time to relax, and they were more well rested for the game today. So he was more willing to let them press higher up the pitch. Because after we scored the first goal, it was like almost immediately after it, Son pressed, and then Kane, and then Dombele, like in quick succession. So I was pleased by that because I figured we'd probably just go back into our shell and wait out the rest of the game and then Leeds to score a late equalizer. But I was happy to be proven wrong.
Also, so there's a few records that Harry Kane has broken. I just posted about it on my Instagram page. The first record he has broken is so he's the first player top 5 leagues this season to get 10 goals and 10 assists. It's only halfway through the season, and not just
Not
that,
even.
he's also broken the record for he's the quickest to get to 10 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League, beating Fabregas's record of 17 games with 16 games, which is also unbelievable. And also one more record is that, I mean, before he played Leeds, he scored against every single Premier League side he's played, but this is the first time he's actually played Leeds in the Prem. So yeah, he scored, and which means that he keeps his record of scoring against every Premier League side.
It's 30 now, right? He's played and scored against 30 different Premier League teams. That's just exceptional. Like, so impressive.
It's more than impressive. It's something.
Yeah. Unprecedented almost. Yeah, that's a really, really exceptional stat for Harry Kane. I mean, he's such an amazing player, and not only did Kane break a few records today and set a few milestones, but Heung-min Son 100th Spurs goal. Nice little, not quite a tap in. It took some effort to get it past the Leeds French keeper, but not the most difficult shot he's ever taken. But it was nice placement. Give his 100th Spurs goal, like I said, and off another Harry Kane assists. And I believe they have 13 goal combinations this season, which is tied for the record of most goal combinations between two players at this stage, or like in an entire Premier League season. So if they combine for one more goal in the next 22 games, they'll break the record. Which, I mean, if they don't combine for one more goal, I'd be worried for our season, because right now I think they scored 76% of Spurs goals so far. So, do you think it's a problem that we seem to be relying on Kane and Son so much?
Oh, I don't think we're relying on Kane and Son. I think today actually proved that we don't. I mean, yes, every single time we tried to pass to Kane, and he was always looking for that ball to Son or to Bergwijn. But Bergwijn on another day could have scored 3 goals today, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
That miss was obviously very bad, but then again, it bottled a bit in front of him, and he was kind of falling onto his back. And then he had that great chance that was amazingly saved. So he's just unlucky at this point, but he really needs that goal to get his confidence back. Bergwijn's proved that we also have a few options, but also Vinicius looked pretty good keeping the ball when he came on.
Yeah, I was impressed.
But then again, yes, we want our midfielders to score more goals, but really we didn't have any attacking midfielders on. I mean, Ndombele is an attacking midfielder, but that's not totally his natural position. But if you look at it like that, Højbjerg had that shot in the first half that could have gone in.
Yeah.
Winks had that long shot. And Ndombele was just, he was world class once again. His dribbling in the final third is just joy to watch, and he could have scored as well. So really, I think it's a bit harsh to put it like that.
Yeah. Going on Bergwijn again, I thought he played really well today. I mean, unfortunate not to get on the score sheet in terms of a goal and an assist. But for me, I think, I think it counts this way in fantasy as well. But if you win like a free kick or a penalty and someone else scores it, like, it feels like it should count as an assist. And Bergwijn won the penalty for Kane to score. So I'm going to call it as an assist for Bergwijn. And then, like you're saying, like, there was a few chances, like Højbjerg had that shot that Bergwijn passed to him, and if that falls to someone else, like if it falls to Son or to Kane or to Ndombele or Ben Davis, I guess, that goes in the back of the net, and then Bergwijn's has another assist, and then he had another moment later where I think it was a free kick or a corner, and the ball came in, and then it kind of bobbled around, and then he laid it off to Kane, and then Kane hit it wide. So I feel like it's just a bit unfortunate in the way things have worked out. Like you said, their keeper made a great save on one of his shots. So, it's getting there. He's showing the signs that he's improving, and he really just needs to put one in the back of the net. And I feel like after he's able to do that and build this confidence up, he'll be a real danger to the rest of the Premier League. But I thought Doherty, he finally showed some signs of like that getting forward that we saw him do at Wolves, and he hasn't really been able to replicate at Spurs. But there was a few
he did go forward, but he didn't really do much from going forward. Every time he tried to combine with Kane or anything, he pretty much lost the ball to defenders. At least how I remember it. He didn't really get past them.
Well, there was just the one time that's sticking in my head where I think he played a 1-2 with someone, and then he got down, and then he cut it back with his right foot, and then laid it off to someone with his left. And so, I mean, obviously he wasn't as consistent as we would like, but like I said, just showing the signs of improvement, which is the key for him right now, as just step by step. So maybe today he gets forward and only gets past the defender once, but next time maybe gets past 2 or 3 times and build.
If you're looking at it from Jose's perspective, he won't care about really his performance. All that he'll care about is that reckless red card. The first yellow was a joke. I mean, what was he actually doing with his feet? I mean, that was so dangerous. Yeah. He didn't touch him, but the second yellow was a bit harsh, but he did step on him, and you have to be more careful than that. So depends how you look at it. But it wasn't that bad a performance from Doherty, really. He was a bit unlucky, but yeah. Let's go on to that ball from Kane to Son. I mean, that was just
exquisite.
And Son pretty much scored a no-look goal. I mean, because he wasn't really looking at the goal when he struck the ball. I mean, that's just class. 2 world-class players, definitely. And also, also wanted to say Rafinha. I mean, he's a great player, isn't he? He's definitely a standout player for Leeds.
Yeah, he was impressive.
Yeah. So let's review. Pochettino. So Pochettino, the old gaffer has joined Paris Saint-Germain, confirmed. I mean,
it's good for him.
It's pretty emotional, but
yeah. And we've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, though. Like, we hope it works out for him. We hope he wins some trophies. We hope he doesn't steal too many of our players. But at this point, I hope he takes Dele, because I really like Dele. He can be a phenomenal player. It's not working under Mourinho, which is so strange. Like, imagine telling us like a year ago that at this point Dele would be struggling to get subbed on in a Premier League game, let alone starting. Because I think at this point last season he was kind of on that run where he scored like 5 or 6 goals in a row, or like 5 or 6 goals in like 7 or 8 games. Just so strange the way it worked out. But another sign today that Dele Alli probably won't be at the club after our next season, because Mourinho opted to sub Lucas Moura on into an attacking midfielder position for Dombele instead of Dele, which I don't know. But
I'm a bit disappointed that Dombele didn't last the 90 minutes once again, but he did look a bit tired. I mean, I don't blame Jose for taking him off. Though,
I don't blame Jose for taking Dombele off at all, because I mean we don't need him on the pitch at that point. I mean, we're 3-0 up. Knock on wood again. But we're 3-0 up. There's not much time in the game, and we don't want him to get injured. We don't need him to create anymore at that point. We don't want to get stuck in our own half and then maybe concede 1 or 2, and then the pressure's on not to concede a third, like I was at West Ham, and we ended up conceding a third. But as long as you sub an attacking player on and replace him who could link the play between the defense and the offense, we should be okay. And then Lucas Moura, he did an adequate job. I didn't think he didn't do great when he came on. He did seem a little out of sorts. Like he didn't really know where to be and when to press and when to step or whatnot. It seems like Dele would have maybe done a little bit of a better job, but we ended up with the 3 points in the clean sheet. So I guess it doesn't matter too much.
To be honest, when we scored the third, when we got to around the 75th minute, I was confident West Ham wouldn't happen again. And then I was just thinking, like, we don't really need another goal. I was just hoping that we'd get that clean sheet, just to give a bit more confidence to that defence that was pretty weak the last few games. And yeah, we got it, and well deserved, because that was some great defending in the last 20 minutes. So let's talk about the Brentford game.
Yeah. Before we move on to that, let's really quickly we've done this a few times, but let's give the 1 star, 2 stars, and 3 stars. So 3 would be the best player, 2 second best, and then 1 star to the worst. Or not the worst. Sorry, the third best. I'll start, I guess. I'll give the 3 to Kane. Like we said earlier, he was our man of the match. The 2, I'll give to Son, and then trying to decide if the 1 star should go to Alderweireld or Højbjerg. I think I'm gonna give the 1 star to Højbjerg. I thought he was pretty good today. I thought he played pretty well.
Well, to be honest, I'm going to do the same. 3 stars Kane, 2 stars Son, 1 star Højbjerg. I mean, actually, I could even argue that Højbjerg gets 2 stars and Son 1. I don't know. It's close.
Yeah.
I thought Højbjerg was phenomenal. What is he?
And then this time we only have 1 comment to be reviewed. Thoughts on Bergwijn from arctic.clothing.official. We already talked about Bergwijn a bit, but I thought he showed some signs of improvement. I thought he played pretty well overall. He just, like I said, he just needs that goal to really kickstart his confidence and kickstart his season. Any additional thoughts on?
He just needs that goal, and I can see him going on a very good run. And I like Bailey, but to be honest, if I'm being totally honest, I'd rather Bergwijn on good form and score goals, so we don't need to buy Bailey than to buy Bailey and then Bergwijn's out of favour, because I really like Bergwijn, and I know he's got the quality, just needs that confidence. Yeah.
That seems to be really key for him. Last week, we forgot to review the comments after the Wolves game, so I figured we'd run through them really quickly. Run through some of them, probably not all of them, but
well, a lot of them are going to be pretty negative. So
yeah, so maybe it'll be good to look at them in a different way. But shocking. At present, there is no flair. We seem to only have 1 gear. We are going to sit back and soak up teams up all season because it's not working now. You can only work for so long, not half a season. We are awful to watch now. I'd say at best with the way we're playing, 7th or 8th place finish at best. From Greg Will 08. I mean, looking back on these are going to look like pretty dramatic and depressing. But I mean, we are in 3rd place after everyone's played 16 games. Aston Villa has played 15 and they're on 26 points. So if they win, they could go up to 29, but they'd have to win by 7 or 8 goals, I think, to go ahead of us on goal differential. So we are pretty solidly in 3rd after almost half a season. So I do understand where they were, where these people are going to be coming from after 4 games without a win. But after the Leeds game, 3-0, I'm feeling pretty confident. What about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. I mean, obviously, I'm expecting us to beat Brentford, and then. I mean, the Villa game is really important, isn't it? I mean, every game's important. And every game in the Premier League is a hard game. There's no easy games.
Yeah.
And, I think getting the 3 points against Villa will be crucial in the current state. Because if we could just get that confidence off Villa, if they lose 2 games in a row, that could be important as well. I don't see them as really top 4 challengers, but you never know. No. This season's crazy. So
yeah.
But I mean, Grealish is a joy to watch. I've been thinking a lot about the fact that Levy was such a tight arse and didn't want to pay $5 million for him. But Also, Bruno this week has let out a statement that in the summer he was closer to joining us than to Man U. What a miss out that was. But talking about Bruno,
there wasn't much we could do about that.
But also talking about Bruno, I mean, just listen to this. This is what Jose said in the interview after the game. It's hilarious.
But to get this Oscars award,
can you hear it?
Scoring 100 goals for Tottenham, to be maybe top 3 in the scorers in the Premier League, without penalties, because some players they score 10 goals a season on penalties. I'm not speaking about Harry Kane, by the way.
So he literally just took a huge dig at Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, that's hilarious. I'm not saying he only scores pens though; it's class.
Well, I mean, Bruno has scored 11 goals.
No,
and
no,
5 of them
I don't
in
think.
penalties.
Yeah, well, I think he's just joking. I mean, I'm sure he knows that Bruno's a class player. He's just trying to.
I think Bruno is being a little overhyped, though. I mean,
like people are saying he's the best midfielder in the Premier League history and crap like that.
Well, people are saying that he's like easily should win the Player of the Year for Premier League. And what have all these people been watching? Like, have they been watching Spurs? Have they even looked at Spurs stats? Like, Harry Kane has been exceptional. I think he has 21 goal involvements, and Bruno has like 17, maybe 18. So, I mean, Kane is head and shoulders above Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion. He's created more. He's scored more. He's the better player. Maybe he hasn't scored more, actually. I think Bruno has 11.
Yeah, but everyone is looking at the fact that Bruno's in. But, I mean, Kane, if anything, has played deeper than Bruno this season, if you actually analyze.
But, yeah, I just think they're not looking at how exceptional Harry Kane's been this season. I think Son should even be considered in the talk about player of the season. I mean, obviously, we're not even halfway through yet, so we'll get there when we get there. But moving on to the next comment from the Wolves game. We need a front three in order to get the Son Kane combo going, as it helps stretch out the defense and open holes in the back line for the two to exploit. And that's from Leon Z. Von I. Ryan. So, yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this a bit, but I think Bergwijn, he can be that player, but we just need a third threat in terms of defenses not being able to just focus on Son and Kane. So once Bergwijn gets a goal or two or three, maybe, the defenses will have to focus on not just defending against Kane and Son, but they'll also have to commit a player to focusing solely on Bergwijn, which will open up the spaces for Kane and Son to exploit, as well as Dombele and our fullbacks, because Reguilon and Doherty or Aurier are very attacking, or at least they can be. So, any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before. Bergwijn just needs a goal for his confidence, and all our players have the quality. If you ask me, like even Ben Davies and Doherty, they on their day they are absolutely exceptional players, and I just think that when the players do click together, we can beat anyone, absolutely anyone.
Well, I mean, Ben Davies, he's been playing pretty well, I think. I mean, he's been playing a little more than average. Like, I feel like his average is probably like a 6.5 or something, but he's been playing pretty well. I mean, I'd say like after these past 3 or 4 games he's played.
Yeah, he was good today.
Yeah. He's maybe
he was definitely good today.
Average state, but moving on.
It's very interesting. Comment. One thing we haven't talked about is just before we get to the next comment is Lamella's and Gia and Lo Celso's and Reguilon's childish
Christmas party.
Christmas party, yeah.
With Lanzini.
What do you have to say to that?
First of all,
just why would they invite Lanzini?
I mean, I understand that they're international teammates, but like, understand the rivalry, please. Especially after he humiliated us with that third goal in the 3-3 draw. But like, there's other Argentinian players in the league that he could celebrate with. It's not like he's going to be all alone.
That's like inviting Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to your house or something. God.
But and then second of all, just use some common sense, please. Like, you're not supposed to be hanging out with family members, especially after that, like that big of a group. Like, maybe
fine if it was close. Fine if it was close family, fine. But they invited literally every single person of their family.
Yeah, like I understand it too. Like, I would have understood if it was just Lamela, Reguilon, and Gio and their like immediate family. But bringing in, because like Lamela, Gio, and Reguilon are all exposed to each other pretty much daily. So whatever they're exposed to, they're going to bring home. So their families are all exposed to that too. But when you bring in someone like Lanzini, who's training with a whole different batch of players, with a whole different batch of families who could be exposed in schools, and then giving it to Lanzini, I think it's just opening up a whole different threat of COVID. by inviting someone who's not part of your squad. But either way, it was irresponsible.
But what I don't understand is how Spurs has actually let this happen. Like, shouldn't they be monitored or something? I mean, no. I mean, I'm not saying that they should be watched over their whole lives, but I'm just thinking, like, I just don't understand how this was allowed to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
when they recover from Corona, I think Jose could be a bit harsh on them as well, because he hates when his players are childish and make mistakes like that.
Well, I'm wondering if that's why Reguilon was scrubbed from the squad today. Or at least maybe that was part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked but yeah, I mean, they're probably going to get fined as well, all three of them.
Yeah.
But, we'll see how it goes.
Including Lanzini. I mean, and then that puts a big damper on our squad because Lo Celso and Lamela are two really important players, and they're two of our attacking mids. So now, once again, we're left with just Ndombele and Dele as our attacking mids, and we don't seem to want to use Dele, so we're stuck with just Ndombele. And we had literally just gotten Lamela back. So it is frustrating. They'll have to be out for a couple weeks. It's just bad decision making, which I guess actually is representative of Lamela on the field because he makes some bad decisions. But yeah, just disappointing overall. Move on to the next conference. We'll
I mean,
he's a little faster, but we simply don't have the quality to play the way Jose wants us to. He needs to adapt. And that's from Sam Slater, 88. Yeah, I think we need to adapt a little bit more. We adapted today. I mean, after we scored the first goal, we continued to press and to create going forward. But any other thoughts on that one?
Well, yeah. I mean, today literally proved that all wrong because we really pressed today and we pressed well. And I think when we do play like that, I mean, we were really exposing Leeds' defence because we were pressurising them so much they just ran out of options and kept passing it back to us, and literally all our chances were created that way. So
speaking of
if
adapting,
we keep playing like that, I mean,
it was a good
game.
I
mean, I think we perfectly adapted to Leeds' play style. I don't think they were expecting that. We were so perfectly organised to play against their ultra-attacking tactics. I think Bielsa was just shocked. So,
I mean, speaking of adapting, like Leeds showed no ability to adapt. They were really stubborn in the way that they just refused to change.
I think Leeds is well. That's the thing. I really admire Marcelo Bielsa. You know, even at the end of the game, it was the 90th minute. He is a 65-year-old guy, and he's still there shouting emotionally, jumping around, telling his players what to do. And, you know, it just shows how much he loves the game. And I really respect him as a manager. I think he's a very good manager. But I think I mean, yes, Jose is stubborn with his defensive-minded tactics, but Bielsa's taking it to another level. And it is really costing Leeds, if you ask me. They just stubbornly attack and attack and attack. They just don't adapt to the game.
No.
But I think Leeds will stay in the league, but I don't think they can challenge for top for a Europa League or anything.
I think it'll take a couple of seasons. I think for me, we were talking a few weeks ago about who we would have replace Mourinho when he eventually does leave the club. And I said Bielsa, and I think before Bielsa is ready to move on to a big club like Spurs, he needs to show the ability to adapt his tactics to teams where maybe like the teams that have the better squad overall, to be able to take the 3 points away from them, like Mourinho has against teams like Man City. So we'll see how that develops. But next comment is same every single game. Start first 20 minutes well and go a goal up, then sit back in the second half and wait for the inevitable goal to come. That's from Barney.m_4. And yeah, I mean, that's what we did for those 4 games. And thankfully
we've talked about this. We've talked about this before. I mean, again, today proved that wrong. And hopefully our performances will keep proving that wrong. Because we managed to hold on without letting a single goal in. So hopefully, that will keep happening.
Next comment. It's a clear new strategy is needed or people will need to go. That's from Elliot's Dergren. Yeah, I mean, clear.
Well, yeah, that's
new
well
strategy
said.
is brought in. Yeah, a lot of these comments are similar, so we can go through them a little faster. This one's a little different though. I don't know why Sissoko plays in the club. All he can give is a short pass. Domblé was the man of the match, and I don't know why he was subbed. Why do we keep conceding in the last 15 minutes? We can't play like this. We shoot one goal and we do nothing. That's from Bartek_123. And I paraphrase that a little bit because he says his first
Who did
language
he
isn't
say
English,
that
but
only does short passes?
Sissoko.
Oh, well, Sissoko was great when he came on today.
Yeah.
I mean, Sissoko is just a midfield beast who is never tired and who always, I mean, he's very physical and, you know, he can go on runs forward. I mean, it really depends on the day. Sometimes he's quality, sometimes he's pretty all over the place.
Yeah.
But if he can get his consistency up, he's great.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if we assume our starting lineup is with Sissoko and Højbjerg as our like holding mids, I think that's the most obvious place we can improve. Because I really like Sissoko. He's a solid player.
Winks has been starting recently, though.
Yeah, I've been okay with that. I like Winks, but Sissoko, he's not great on the ball. I talked about this before, but he doesn't have that the vision of the game like players like Højbjerg or Winks or Domblé. Our Gio or Lamela have in that sense. He's really good at driving forward with the ball, but he's not good enough offensively, I don't think, to play in that role. I mean, it's been like probably a year since he last had a shot on target. So, and then moving on.
Yeah.
Domblé was man of the match last time out. Don't understand why we changed. We've talked about that one as well. Domblé, we can't risk him getting injured at this moment in time. He's fantastic, but like I said, we really can't. We can't allow him to be injured, otherwise we're in serious trouble. Next.
I mean, I think we'll buy a few backups in January. Sabitzer, maybe a backup for Højbjerg, which is looking to be Sami Khedira. And a few other, maybe a centre back and a winger. But we'll see. I mean, Jose said that he does not expect us to spend big in the January transfer market. But, you know, you never know with it.
Yeah, a lot of mind games with Jose Mourinho. Next comment, though. Kane is my favorite player, and although we know he has the ability to defend, it's worrying that he has more headers and clearances than most of our defenders. Our priority is to buy a center back in January that is world class. Skriniar, Linglet, Kimpembe, etc. And that's from Papa.Poch. I think we could do with the new defender. But I mean, Harry Kane, he's a world class player, and he's really good at heading the ball. So it makes sense that we put him back there for corners or for free kicks, and he seems to have a magnet for it, really. Every time he's in there, the ball seems to come to him and he's able to clear it. But what do you think about that one?
Wait, can you just say it again? The last.
Yeah, he's just saying that it's worrying that Kane seems to have like more clearances and headers out of the box than our defenders, and that we need to buy a center back in January. That is world class.
Well, I wouldn't call that worrying. That's just because Kane is the kind of player that tries his best to be everywhere on the pitch and just always tries to work as hard in defence and in attack. So I wouldn't. You can't blame our defenders for Kane trying his giving his all. I mean,
I thought Alderweireld and
it's an interesting stat though.
World class, but
yes. Yeah, I think Dyer is beginning to be. I mean, he's been phenomenal. I mean, he's been phenomenal today. He was phenomenal, and he's really proving his doubters wrong game after game. And really, the goals that we were conceding in the last few games, none of them are really Dyer's fault either. Today, he was caught at Bamford, had a pretty clear header, but except for that, he was very exceptional. You know, I think he could actually become a world-class centre back for us.
Well, I mean, something to think about is
imagine saying this a year ago.
Yeah, I would not have believed you. I was not a fan of Dyer at all. 1 second. Here, I'll read the next comment. Jose knows best, of course, but if we're going to play direct or fluid counterattacking football, then we need to have a player or two up the field rather than everyone in the box. And that's from Papa.Hodge as well. What do you think about that one?
Well, yeah, Jose obviously he changed his tactics slightly today. We weren't as defensive, and it worked. So
Yeah,
I mean, we still didn't have as much possession as you'd expect, but I mean, we're used to it at this point, and it worked. We do not need possession to create chances,
no,
and
but
yeah, as long
he
as we
doesn't have
have as many shots as we did today,
yeah.
because usually we don't have as many shots.
Do you think that's part of having Winks and Højbjerg in midfield rather than Sissoko and Højbjerg?
Well, Winks did win the ball quite a lot, and he always passed it forward pretty much. So that's a good argument.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think Leeds were also making so many bad passes in midfield. So you never know if Sissoko was there. You never know if he would have done the same. It really depends on the day, because I wouldn't say that Winks is miles better than Sissoko.
No, he's definitely not miles
Winks
better.
is more attacking, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. For me, it could go either way. It's just I feel like Winks, he's more intelligent on the ball, and I think he has a better touch, which makes it easier for him to go forward. But if Sissoko is given a lot of space to run into, I feel like he's the more attacking of the two. I think it really depends on the situation. But
yeah, it does.
On the next...
It does. I have a question for you. Do you think Kane could win the Ballon d'Or?
If he keeps this up, yeah.
Do you think Kane could win the Ballon d'Or? Yeah. You think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
because
if he keeps up this form,
Lewandowski didn't win it when he really deserved it.
But he didn't win it because they canceled
really
it because of COVID, right?
Because yeah, but he also I'm pretty sure he still didn't win. I don't know.
He didn't win
because
like the
UEFA favors Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, but I do think
I don't know.
If Kane, okay, so I think the key to the Ballon d'Or is scoring goals, obviously, and winning trophies. So that's why defenders don't frequently win it. That's why midfielders don't frequently win it. I know Modric won recently, but I think you really have to, like I said, like the two criteria is winning trophies and scoring goals. So as long as we win a few trophies this season, the EFL Cup, FA Cup maybe, but I think we really need to win something big. So the Europa League, or I've talked about us having like the outside chance at the Premier League. And then if Kane gets over like 25 goals and over like, I don't know, 15 or 20 assists, then he should be really considered for that.
Imagine if Kane, now listen to this. Imagine if Kane could get 20 goals and 20 assists. I mean,
that would just be incredible.
That's Messi stats there.
Yeah.
But I think he will get 20 goals, but not sure about the 20 assists. I mean,
he's already at 11, so he would only need more this season.
Well, only. I mean, for assists only is not 9. But because I mean, for me, it's actually harder to get 20 assists than 20 goals, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Kane is class. I mean, he's not class. He's absolutely exceptional.
Imagine that Harry Kane wins the Ballon d'Or next season, and then Harry Winks wins the Puskas for that shot against Ludogorets.
Yeah, I think that would not just be like amazing for the club and them. It would be really good for the club because, if Kane does win it, and we win a trophy, it would increase our shirt sales. We'd become a bigger club. Yeah. A lot of money flowing in. We'd be known as one of the best clubs in the world. So
yeah. Something that I've looked at that maybe holding us back in terms of really becoming like one of the top clubs is we just don't seem to have as many fans, and that's because I think we don't win as many trophies. But if you just look on social media, which I know probably isn't a great
no. Listen. I went. I would not say that. Okay, we have our fans like in America, in England, all over the world, and then we got fans in South Korea. 11 million, which is more than which is which is a bigger amount of fans than we have in England. I mean, it's a bigger population of fans. I mean, South Korea is huge for us. It just like, imagine thinking that one player could give you so much fame in one country. It's crazy.
But after
it's
Son retires,
mental. But yeah.
Do you think that we'll still have, I mean, obviously we won't have the same amount of fans, but do you think we'll still have massive support from South Korea? Or do you think if South Korea produces another talent?
Because they'll still see it. They'll still, no, they will still see it as the club where Son shook Europe, the club where the best ever South Korean player won the Premier League. Let's just say that. I think he'll stay at our club till the end of his career. I mean, I hope so. I mean, he could go to the MLS for the last few years, but his peak he'll definitely stay.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else you want to assess?
Yeah, we only have 3 more comments, so we'll run through this really quickly. We can't win most games with 1 goal. Don't know what Mourinho's plan is, and that's from TUREWIH Lander. Yeah, I mean, I agree. We can't win most games with only 1 goal unless we score that 1 goal in the towards the end of the game, like we did against Burnley or against West Brom. I think it's difficult to hold on to a 1-goal lead in the Premier League nowadays. Anything extra to say on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already discussed this a lot. I mean, most of these comments are the same, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, I'm just going to read the next one. There is something wrong. I don't know what that is, but yeah, maybe the players, the coach, I don't know, with the players, they don't have the desire to score more than 1. They let us down as usual. Do you think it's the tactics? We talked about this in the last podcast, but do you think it's the tactics or the players not carrying out the tactics? That is why we kept sitting so far back after we scored the first goal.
We discussed this a lot last on the last pod. You said that it's either Jose or it's the players not listening to Jose telling them to go forward. And we had quite a big, I wouldn't say argument, but discussion about it.
I think at the end of the day, I agree with you. I think it is the tactics. I think the players want to get forward.
I think it was. I think Jose did realize that today, and he switched it up a bit, and it worked perfectly. But then again, I can't tell if he switched the tactics today a bit to adapt to Leeds and really attacking play, or he will be switching it like this for the rest of the games. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, he won't switch back to the ultra defensive style we were playing.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, there's a couple more after this. But effing SHIT. I don't know. I don't want our podcast to get disabled or something. So let our players play the football they are used to and we are used to watching. You are supposed to be there to just show them how to win trophies, not show them how to not play. I think we pretty much. Oh, that's from Mr_B_Locks with an X. I think we pretty much just discussed that on that last one. I don't really have anything new to say on that. Do you?
Not really.
All right. This is likely the last game that Spurs play the strategy unless it's 4-0. It's from Pete Harvest Roots. Yeah, I mean, I think it is the last game that Spurs will score 1 early and just sit back. Unless, like I said, unless we're up by a lot, and then we'll sit back. All right, last one. What's the point playing a brand of football which is meant to bring results but not actually getting those results? Don't fix something which isn't broken. So why have we stopped playing a brand of football which the whole league was afraid of? I think that has a good point to it. Why did we stop playing the way that was winning?
That's a very good comment, actually. I think maybe even best.
Yeah, I think it is.
But I wouldn't actually say that we stopped playing like we were. I think we're actually playing similarly like we were, because we were still defending against City, really defending against Arsenal. It's just in the last 4 games before the Leeds game, we were really struggling to create chances, which I think had something to do with the fatigue of the players. But it's not like we totally changed the way.
Yeah, we didn't totally change the way we played. We just seemed to get there quicker and then stop going after the game like we did in those other games. But that is the end of the comments. Anything else you want to review? Oh, we can.
I think we've covered everything, to be honest. Hello?
Any additional thoughts on that Brentford game?
I couldn't hear you the last 20 seconds. I don't really have anything more to add. I think we've covered everything.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think we've covered just about everything. So thank you for listening. This has been another episode of Spurs This Week. Remember to follow us on Instagram. I'm _Spurs Center, and Charlie is N17 Nation. And follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out some of our latest videos. We'll be making more soon. And come on, you Spurs.